Okay, we have Mr. Robert Berg with us. Robert, thank you for taking the time to let us know your experience with elite agency training. Before I ask you some questions, I want to let everybody know that Robert, full disclaimer here, Robert worked in my agency as a sales producer, primarily PNC Home and Auto, for what was it, Robert? 4 years?
Yeah, 4 years.
4 years. So Robert had the pleasure or displeasure of me constantly training him, and Robert didn't have any sales experience before coming to my agency. Well, maybe some, but not a direct phone heavy sales for insurance. Isn't that right, Robert?
Oh yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I was in trucking before I got into sales.
Yeah. So Robert, I'll speak for Robert. Robert became he was one. I'll go ahead and say one of my most challenging salespeople, but he became very consistent and persistent with sales, and one of the top salespeople in the agency and in the state. So very, very good to see him progress. But Robert has since gone on to life insurance sales with another company. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay. So wanted to ask you a couple things. And Robert, you've taken the life section of the elite agency training uh, program, correct?
Yeah, I watched took the whole thing.
Okay. So what would you say has been the most helpful part of that training?
So the most helpful for me was really taking the right attitude into the sales call and not this a no-brainer attitude that you have to have when it comes to life insurance. Instead of instead of being timid about it, you just go in thinking, they're gonna do it and it's just a no-brainer and use that tonality that the elite agency training talks about. It's very important that your tonality is right.
Tonality, super powerful. Anything else you can think of that has been super helpful on about the training?
Um, yeah, when it talks about building rapport with the client as well, especially when it comes to life insurance, it's kind of a personal sale. It can be like you have to build more of a connection. Remember, these people don't need this insurance, and the training talks about that. Like you just go in and build that rapport with them, and it helps a ton. But again, like not so much where you give yourself commission breath, but enough to where that they understand that you care about them.
Right. Uh, has has the life training increased your production, and if so, by how much would you say?
So I think without the life training, I wouldn't be as productive as I am now. So my first week in a brand new industry I've never been in before, and I'm an independent contractor, so I don't have a whole back office support team helping me train. So that lead training helped me with being number one my first week, and now within my first month, I'm at almost $30,000 in premium sold. So without that training, I don't even think I'd get half of that right now.
So you're number one in your company.
Yeah, number one new agent my first week. Outperformed everybody by $9,000 in premium. And then overall in the first month, out of 1,000 people, I'm number 47.
Wow. In your
Yeah,
first month.
my first month. Yeah. And I'm still kind of learning some things about the carriers, not so much about the sales part, just about the carriers. So it's only going to get better from there.
Right. So you sold 30,000 in 1 month, your first month
First
premium.
month, yes. 30,000 in premium.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, like a lot of it was even when I worked for Brian, I remembered a lot of the tonality then, but it was a good refresher to go through that elite agency training and just know that tonality is again, it's paramount, probably more important than anything, really.
And what would you say? You told me your favorite phrase of the training.
Um, oh,
What
well,
was it?
telling people that it's a no-brainer works. You got to tell people it's a no-brainer. I don't know what it is that makes it click with them, but it works.
Love it. Um, Do you have a personal favorite of the training? And if so, or what is it? Or is it the no-brainer?
Yeah, I mean, and then just the attitude bringing into the call, like if almost as if you're confused why they wouldn't want to buy this. It's just that you're just confused, like, how, I don't, yeah, just a confused tone has to come across. And that's another thing in that elite agency training that talks about that. It's like, what? It just doesn't make sense. But of course, you don't say it like that. You just say it in the right tone.
Right. And it's
Yeah.
super powerful because not only does it help your client or prospect realize that it is a no-brainer, but it helps your own mentality as a salesperson that it's a no-brainer. And it helps you close and helps you believe in what you're doing. It helps you be super confident in closing and in sales in general.
That's actually a really good point. I remember finishing watching finishing watching the elite agency training. I was like, oh man, I want to go bust some doors down now, man. Like no one's gonna say no to me after this. I really did. That's how I felt. Like, okay, no one's gonna tell me no now.
That's right. And that's
Oh,
the attitude you have to have.
yeah. I
To,
mean,
to
I wanted
to
to purchase a policy.
Yeah. Well, that's the elite attitude, the
Yeah.
top producing attitude for sure. Um, so from the numbers that you mentioned, I think it's fair to say that you have, um, of course, made back your investment in the course, the cost of the investment, and who knows how many times multiple return on investment. Is that fair to say?
Oh, definitely. I'm thinking that by the time a year is up and when I've been here a year, it's gonna be, yeah, the cost of that's gonna be irrelevant compared to
Uh,
what I'm gonna make because of it.
it's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
All right. Do you have anything else to add?
No, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. I mean, I think, yeah, it's worth it. That I'm so glad I got to watch it.
Awesome. Good deal. Hey, Robert, thanks for your input today.
Absolutely, man.
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
Yeah, let's go be elite.